ครับก็เป็นตอนหนึ่งนะครับเก็บตกจากงาน 2018 Asian Digital Asset Summit นะครับสำหรับตอนนี้ที่ไปสัมภาษณ์กับทีมของ NEM นะครับเดี๋ยวเข้าไปติดตามเนื้อหาในรายละเอียดของวิดีโอข้างในเลยแล้วกันนะครับ First of all, I would like to thank you, Laura. Could you please introduce yourself for my audience?
Sure. สวัสดีค่ะ My name is Laura Takenaka, and I am the country lead for NEM.io Foundation in Thailand.
First question I would like to ask you about what is the NEM Vision and Mission? What is NEM and why we need NEM?
Okay. Well, thank you. NEM actually stands for New Economy Movement. Some people say never ever moon, but I'll go with New Economy Movement, right? So, what the original mission of NEM was to start a new economy, trustless and decentralized way to transfer your assets. Now we kind of have changed a bit more. Now we're more into education and advocacy because we're actually quite a stable project. We've been around. The inception was 2014. Mainnet went on 2015. So we're pretty mature in the space for the how fast the space moves. We're pretty mature. So what we are for now is blockchain adoption. Just get it used, no matter where, whether public chain, private chain, doesn't matter. Get blockchain used in more in everyday life. So how can we do that? And the way we do that is basically how our technology works. If we compare it to Ethereum, you need to code on Solidity, yes?
Yeah.
To do your smart contracts. And I don't like the word smart contract anyway because it's not smart and it's not a contract. Anyway, I digress. But we do APIs. So what we do is keep your business logic off-chain. You can talk about TPS and transactions per second, and IPFS is now coming online, but as it stands today, as we know most blockchains now, the more you put on, the more it slows down. Everybody uses CryptoKitties as the example, but that's because it's the most recent and the one we can remember where the gas was so expensive. The gas was more expensive than the actual transaction you were doing, and it goes sequentially, so it goes in order. So unless you want to pay more, you can't jump the queue. We do transactions simultaneously, and we don't keep your business logic on chain. Because we've just seen too many problems with on-chain smart contracts. If you're not 110% sure that your code is clean, then that's an exploit that everybody can see and then go in and hack it. Plus, to keep it lean, keep it fast, and you don't have to program in any specific language. So you don't have to code in Solidity, you don't have to code in only Java. You can be Node.js, Java, C++, Python, Golang.
No limitation in terms of
there's almost no limitation when it comes into terms of development. There are some holes in some of the GitHub repos, and we promise we will fix them soon. But almost every language you can code in, most of the popular ones, then you can onboard with us because it's API based. So as long as you can write an API.
If familiar with the nowadays, we already use the API.
Exactly, with almost every web app is an API. So if you can code an API, so you don't need dedicated blockchain developers. If you can code an API, we can probably teach you how to do that. How to put your stuff on blockchain and work with you to help you put it on there. So that makes it easier, to be honest. It makes it easier. Nothing's simple. I'm not going to say it's simple. Everything's simple because that will come and bite you when you say simple. It's just more straightforward. So if you want to put something on chain, you can do it rather quickly. And so it makes, also with businesses and academia, you have legacy systems that you've used for 20 years or even 10 years, 5 years. How much money is it going to cost to change all that into just because your CEO says, yeah, no blockchain, that's the buzzword of the day. I want to do something with blockchain. And then you have to, oh God, what do I have to do? I have to rewrite the whole thing. I have to buy, I have to hire specific blockchain engineers, and they're so hard to find and they're so expensive. You don't have to do that. That's our goal and our mission is to make it easier for everybody to use.
Interesting. The second question is, what is the difference between NEM and each other?
Okay, so the other blockchains, there are a lot out there, obviously EOS and Ethereum, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the grandfather of blockchains, right? So We don't like to, some people do it for us, but we really don't like to compare ourselves to other blockchains because the goal is adoption. So in the grand scheme of things, I don't care which blockchain you use. If it's not NEM, okay, fine, but just use a blockchain in the right way. But NEM has what we call the 5 features built in. When we do 101s and whatnot, sometimes we say they're ingredients. And who wants to cook? What do you want to cook? What do you want to make? We have we've built in features onto chain, like hard-coded into the chain. So some people might say we have hard-coded smart contracts built into the blockchain. So what we have is multi-sig.
Okay.
So multi-sig account. The easiest way to explain multi-sig for people who don't know what multi-sig is, think of a corporation and you have a board of directors. You have 5. Now to cash a check to that company, one person cannot sign or should not sign because then anybody can spend money. So what you want to do is have 3 or 4 out of 5 sign to have that transaction go through. Same thing with our chain. We have multi-sig accounts. So you need 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 4 out of 5, or all 5. You can tailor it to how much security you want, right? So that's built in.
Multi-sig is 6 stands for the signature.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If we have 5 board, we need the signature
of 3 or 4.
At least 3.
Yes, at least 3.
It's already built in.
Built in, yes. And it usually has an expiry of 24 hours. So if it's not finished and signed within 24 hours,
it has time lock.
It's gone.
Okay.
I think I have to look into it a bit more. I think you can set that so it could be shorter. It could be, but 24 hours usually. If it's not signed, it stops, and you have to re-initiate the whole transaction again. But multi-sig, we have namespaces. So what that means is when you want to make your project, right? Say I have, actually I do. My daughter has a project. So she has a project called Kidly, right? So when you want to make your project, say I have project VIP, right? And I want to make a VVIP token. But first you need the name, right? So we go to, through our wallet actually, through our Nano wallet, our official wallet, you have your namespace, which is like your domain name or the name of your project, right? So that's also built in. Then we have mosaics. Mosaics are our tokens. Okay, our main token is XEM, XEM, right? Under that, we have other mosaics. Okay, so
it's like gas or
no? Okay, XEM is like gas. The native currency of NEM, NEM, is XEM, XEM. Okay, that's like our fuel for our ecosystem. But you can make your own tokens, like ERC20. Right? Actually, you can do non-fungible tokens now, like ERC721 for fractional ownership. We have a project doing that right now. But you can make your mosaics, just tokens, but we call them mosaics. We wanted a new name, right? We wanted a better name, so we call them mosaics. It's a bit more fancy, right? So then you have your namespace, VIP, and then underneath you make your mosaic. So that's your token. You can make up to 9 billion divisible by 6. So 6 decimal places, right? So you can fractionalize that as well. So, and then you name your token, whatever you want. So my project name is VIP, my mosaic name is VVIP, and there you go. That's your project on the NEM blockchain. Done.
Done.
Well, tokenization, there you go, you're done.
Oh, I got it.
Whatever you want to assign to that token, then falls to you off-chain. On-chain, this is done. And this costs about, I think it's 100 XEM and then 50 XEM. Now, sometimes the fees change, but that's about $20 US, approximately, given exchange rate. It's about $20 US. So there you go. There's your project done. Well, your tokens are done, are made, created, done. All right?
It seems finished within 15 minutes. 5
if you know what you're doing. I mean, you have to give an explanation of what your project is and a short description. But yeah, if you don't know what you're doing, about 15 minutes, I'd say it would take. And you do need XEM, like our currency, just like you need gas to move transactions. So whatever your mosaic is fine, but you need a little bit of XEM to move it. But our fees right now are quite low. They're 0.05. So that's maybe half a penny right now. Half a penny USD to move something. Also, we have, wait, hold on. I have to go through all the features now. Messages.
Message.
Messages.
Like a Facebook message.
Yeah, but it's also tagged onto your transaction. So I say I'm sending you 200 Zem. Okay? I can add a message to that.
Mm-hmm.
Because people, if you're looking on a blockchain and you're just seeing text hashes, unless you know what wallet you're looking for and to whatever, the layperson cannot figure this out. It's a lot. It's just a lot of strings of numbers and letters, like hexadecimal hashes. So it's confusing. However, if you tag a message onto that, right, say I want to move this table, tokenize this table and represent its movement. This is table A. That's room B. Table A moves to room B. You can put a message under that transaction. Table A moves to room B.
Like a memo.
Yeah, it's like a Swift code as well. So exactly, like a memo. So then if you're looking in all the transactions of the blockchain, you can't figure it out. But, oh, here, there's my message. Table A moved to room B. And then you can track it easily in a very layman-friendly way.
Just think more than you explained is, if we have the logic to detect something in the message, and we can trigger another smart contract or what?
No, it doesn't really work that way, because literally they're just messages.
Okay.
It's just a message. It's not okay. Anything magical.
Okay.
But you can encrypt the message as well.
Ah.
So if you're sending something that you don't want anybody else to see except for the recipient, then you encrypt it. That costs a little bit more in fees to send.
Okay.
But you can encrypt it, and then only the receiver can unencrypt it. So we have that, and then there's the messages, and then it's yeah. So these are all built in. Oh, sorry, we also have a voting module.
Voting for?
Voting for anything. So how we used to do, we don't have this anymore. We used to have a NEM community fund. It's broken off into a ventures VC capital fund right now. That's not managed by the foundation.
Ah.
It's separate from the foundation. We feel that's
Actually,
a better way
to
do it. That's a better way to do it. But we used to have community fund, and what would happen is these projects would pitch to the community. This is my project. Here's my white paper. This is what we want to do, and we're looking for XYZ amount of Zem, milestone, and you have to give milestones. And by this milestone, we hope to get this many Zem, and all it would take was the community to vote on it. Right? So if they got, I think the threshold was around 3% POI, and I'll explain POI in a minute. I'll explain POI as well in a minute. I know you're like, oh my God, what? If you get 3% POI, your project is funded. It's through. But you get funded in our currency, in Zem. Right?
Got it.
But you had to vote. So from your wallet, you don't send any money. You send 0 Zem to a certain wallet, and that's a vote for yes. Vote for no, you send it to a different wallet. So it's already in there. And so we have a voting system already in. POI is proof of importance.
Oh, yes, I understand. This is consensus protocol.
Yes, our consensus protocol. It's not proof of work, all about proof of work. Very, energy consuming and...
I know a little bit because...
And proof of stake, right?
I'm a one that's harvesting.
Oh, are you harvesting? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you delegated harvesting? Like me? Yeah. I have nothing. Like, really? I'm not getting much on my harvesting at all. But a friend of mine who has 3 supernodes, he said he's getting more and more rewards every day. He's not getting much, but he's getting like 5 a day now. Whereas before, there wasn't many. So.
It takes too long. It takes too long for harvesting. But
Well,
I'd like to know about the
You need a vested balance, right? You need a vested balance of 10,000 to start harvesting. Obviously, the more your balance goes up, the better chance you have of harvesting. But not just your balance. It's not just proof of stake, but how much you transact.
That's why proof of importance.
Importance, yes. But also you have to transact in amounts, I think, 1,000 Zem and over. So that's the problem. I made a lot of little ones, but it hasn't put my importance score. I'm not very important on the blockchain right now because I haven't moved that much around because I don't do trading.
So do I.
I don't. I do not touch it. That's a personal preference.
So do I.
Yeah, no trading for me, thank you. Because I know I can't watch it. I can't watch the markets. It's too much. It's too emotional for me.
the last question, I would like you to show us an example for the adoption of NEM.
Okay. We've got quite a few projects going on right now. We actually have about four let me see. Sorry, 4 PowerPoint slides of ecosystem members. Okay. One of our projects right now called Proxima X is using IPFS, so interplanetary filing system, for storage solutions.
Yeah, I know that because it has one issue that they put the files that ประเทศกูมี you know MV that put on the IPFS. That's very famous in Thailand.
Yes, and we have that already. But we've had it for a little bit now. But that they've actually offered like their own they call it proxy box. So it's like Dropbox, but on the blockchain. So it's there and it's being used, and their token is used to pay for those services. So it's actually a real utility. We have a Native American band. It's just a POC, but it's very, very interesting. They're using our blockchain to govern their entire reservation band. So it's like a native council, right? It's like a mini government. They're using it for their governance, their finances, their voting, everything. It's a proof of concept, but it's worked, and they've demonstrated it, and it's really, really cool. We have a project doing, LuxTag actually just did artwork on the blockchain. So provenance. You know how Thailand loves its handbags, right? กระเป๋าชอบมากเลย so but really expensive, but really expensive bags, right? But how can you make sure your bag is real?
It's from the
reputable shop, right? But you have to trust the shop. LuxTag tags these items on the blockchain.
It contains the tag hash ID or
yes. But usually at the time of creation. So sometimes time of creation, sometimes time of transfer. So then you can track that object.
Can trace back?
Trace it back? Yes.
Which location they come from?
Not only that, you can hash the transfer. You can transfer ownership. So okay, this bag is now moved to this shop.
Okay.
I can track that. Okay, this shop, it's verified. Then the shop sells it to somebody else, and the ownership is transferred as well.
That means if you would like to sell your bag like a second hand, the ownership can be transferred
to the other
new
person.
owner.
Yes, so you can keep that line going. Right?
You can track and
trace. Now, for provenance, that's a big deal because there's a lot of counterfeit. I used an example of automobile parts, car parts. There was $500 million fake, cargo shipment of fake car parts found in Dubai in 2017. That's not only just a lot of money, that's a safety issue. So if they can tag and trace provenance-wise with the blockchain, which would cut out a lot of fees, if you think about it. If you have this personnel stopping and checking all the serial numbers, it's going to cost a lot of money. If you have IoT devices that work, now there's some debate over whether IoT is the best solution, but if you have that and it calls up to chain, you can track every step of the way. So supply chain we've just done the first artwork on the blockchain in Malaysia. We've just done it. Actually, our former VP just got his first Bitcoin, Swiss handmade Bitcoin watch, and the creation of it was text hashed to the blockchain.
Can you take some photo for me?
Yeah, I will send it to you, actually. I'll send it to you.
I would like to show him.
He put it on Reddit, actually. It's up on Reddit.
On Reddit? Okay.
Yeah, it's on Reddit.
Find it.
So it's really, really interesting, the use cases we have, and some that are still coming online because a lot of people don't quite realize how much work goes into a blockchain project when you actually want to do something real, real life. We also have a bottle of wine. We have wine. Wine, yes, wine. It's called Omniaz. It's in Singapore, and it's going through Wine Connection in Singapore and in Malaysia. So you can track your wine. Make sure, apparently wine counterfeiting is a big problem. I didn't know this, but it is. So for now they're doing a sticker, like a QR code scanning sticker to track the provenance of the wine, make sure it's not been tampered with. There's better ways, I think, maybe to do that in the future, but it's still pretty interesting.
many people are quite confused about the blockchain was hacked, and I think it has one event occur in Japan that NEM was hacked. What is the real story of
okay.
of this?
I can try to clarify it a bit because NEM was never hacked. NEM was not hacked. What happened was CoinCheck exchange in Japan was hacked, and they stole a lot of ZEM. Nothing from our side was ever hacked. These are your pain points, and this is what I talked about earlier on stage. Is anything that connects up to blockchain is your pain point, and that's your weak spot. Blockchain itself is inherently secure. Just the way it's designed and the way it's coded, it's secure. But when you're on exchanges, you have to make sure your exchange implements proper security. Now, CoinCheck had all of its tokens in a hot wallet online. What that means, and no multi-sig.
Yeah.
So anybody could have done this transaction. Somebody came in and saw, whoa, there's, I think it was about $250 million worth of ZEM in this wallet.
Oh.
They didn't take any of it off into a cold storage, cold wallet, anything, secure wallet, nothing, no multi-sig, no nothing. And so it's just gone. Somebody just came in and hacked it. What they hacked was the exchange wallet, not NEM, not ZEM. They just stole ZEM. If CoinCheck had a multi-sig wallet, just basically what we have hard-coded into our chain.
Actually, you have it.
We have it already. And then this wouldn't have occurred. This caused a lot of backlash, obviously, in Japan, brought in a lot more FSA regulations. They're back up now. Actually, CoinCheck is back online now. And they've resumed ZEM trading, but we've worked with them. We've worked with the Japanese police and the FSA. For a while, we actually tracked. We tracked the tokens, the mosaics. You can put a tracker on it and a tag. But what the hacker wasn't stupid. He was a really intelligent person. So what happened was he would just start sending, I say he, but it could be a she too. They started sending ZEM to random people.
Oh.
So the tainted tokens would end up in somebody's wallet and their wallet would be flagged. And that's not fair to people who have nothing to do with it. So we stopped the tagging.
Okay.
Yeah, because we had to stop.
I heard that your action is you put the message to tag it.
To tag it. So and, then you could find all the wallets, right?
Let any exchange to know
no.
This is come from
yes.
hacker.
However, they figured that out and they
clever.
Tagged, really clever. So kudos for you for that, but not so much about crashing the price.
So, in summary, that means CoinCheck, they store the ZEM in the hot wallet.
Hot wallet, yes.
And the most of the exchange do this because they need to manage the liquidity.
Yes, they need to manage liquidity.
But the amount, it should be not
no, it shouldn't be every coin you have.
Yeah.
And this was pretty much every coin they had put in this hot wallet. You need, of course, you need enough tokens in your wallets to manage your trades and cover and have your liquidity. However, there should be another security level there, at least a multi-sig, more than one person to sign off on any transaction. And if these tokens are not being moved, you actually review your trade volume and then take some off and put them in cold storage, but then you could have it on hand as well. But it's just secured that it's not sitting up there like a big red beacon saying, "Come get me," So this is where you have problems. It's exchanges are very attractive to hackers. So when you choose an exchange, you have to be very, very sure that they have the proper and appropriate security measures in place. And feel free to ask them. And if they don't want to answer you, I wouldn't put my tokens there.
Okay. For today, we know a lot about NEM or ZEM. If have a chance, I would like to invite you to live in my channel.
Sure.
If you're okay,
Yeah,
I would like to invite you and ask some question that my audience interested this project.
Yeah, definitely.
For today, thank you very much
for
exclusive interview
No problem.
for Bit Investment Channel. Thank you very much.
ขอบคุณค่ะสวัสดีค่ะ